Is your ego a problem? Hello, I'm Eric the Car Guy, and this is ETCG1. And on this channel, ETCG1, we talk about stuff. We don't necessarily do repair videos or anything like that. We just talk about things that are automotive related or just, things we want to talk about. That's how it is around here. But if you're looking for repair videos, head over to Eric the Car Guy. I'll post a link down in the description for you. All you gotta do is click that and watch all the repair videos that you want. Yes, we are now basking in the aftermath of the Sonoma engine replacement videos. Those will be rolling out over the next few weeks for you, but for me, a long, strange trip is over. However, it got me to thinking. It got me to thinking of when I used to work in shops, and a couple of different shops that I worked in. And one thing that I often ran into was ego. And it was either my own or the ego of fellow technicians. And I've always wondered about this. Well, I really haven't wondered about it so much because after a while you begin to see the pattern. And the pattern, at least to me, seemed to be that, well, maybe automotive technicians have some ego issues. Not really sure why that is, but it's just kind of been my experience. I guess there's a certain empowerment that you get when you get into repair and you are able to repair things. And that may equate to I don't want to say holier than thou type of attitude, but with some, it can get quite extreme, I think. Some people are like way over the edge as far as the ego thing is concerned. Some not so much. I've known some guys that are just even keel the whole time and they're just fine. But then there's other guys that were a bit uptight. In fact, I would say the majority of the people that I know that are in auto repair might be a little bit uptight. And you might be able to see this in some of the health issues that manifest with auto mechanics. It's not just because of the chemicals and the stress of the environment. I think part of it is a part of that stress is actually created because of maybe your expectations of yourself, maybe your expectations of your employer, maybe your expectations of your coworkers. Not real sure, but at least for me, I find that a lot of times my stress is a result of me and my actions. So I will own up to it. I will also own up to the fact that my ego has gotten the better of me in the past. I would like to think less so now. I guess a part of me feels that I have less to prove. And maybe that's it. Maybe as you get older, you get bitter or you get wiser. Or, I'm not real sure. I'm getting older every day, so I'll let you know. I'll keep some notes. So here's an example of an ego issue. And this wasn't necessarily with a fellow technician. It was with let's call him a service writer. Or let's just say he was the owner's son-in-law. And he was in charge of the store. Well, I came in one day and I had a certain diagnosis that I had about a vehicle, and it required removing a security system from it to verify my suspicions. Well, I came in and said, this is how I feel about it. And the response that I got was, I don't have time for another one of your harebrained schemes. And I was just like, okay. I got a little bent by that. I got a little put out because that's not where I was coming from. I wasn't coming from a place where I felt that I was, pursuing a harebrained scheme. To me, it was more, I've seen this a lot. It's been an issue in the past. I want it gone, kind of thing. So part of it was my ego, but when it went up against the owner's son-in-law's ego, it created a problem. And as a result, well, let's just say that he didn't own up to saying what I just said. And I wouldn't admit that I was wrong. So ego got the better of me in that particular case. In some ways you could say that my termination from the dealership was kind of a result of my ego and my inability to conform to the clique or the inner circle as far as the place where I worked. I never quite fit into it. I never cared to fit into it. In fact, there were times where I completely despised it. It's just how it is sometimes. Now, is that my ego getting in the way? Is that me saying that, I'm the self-important one? Who are you? Who are you to tell me that I am wrong or somehow doing things differently? That is not up to you. My point is I know I've been guilty of it from time to time. I've tried to be conscious of it. I mean, let me put it this way. If you are having an ego problem, you aren't without hope, because if you recognize that you have an issue, you can work towards correcting it. And that's what I've tried to do over the years. And actually, as a result of interacting with as many of you that I do, I see myself and I see just what I do so much differently. And as a result of that, I've kind of let go of a lot of things. And because I've been exposed to so many differing opinions and, obviously people coming to me at times telling me that I've done it wrong or should have done it differently or something like that, you sort of develop a thicker skin, if you will, and you really have to if you want to, be a YouTube celebrity or something like that, because there's going to be somebody out there that's going to disagree with you in a very vocal way. But that's just how it is. That's just the game. And you have to deal with it. But I'm going to turn this question back to you. Do you have an ego problem? Or do you feel that you have an ego problem and you're not admitting it? Or do people that you work with have an ego problem? Does your boss have an ego problem? How does that affect you? How does that affect your work? How does that affect how you approach things? How does that affect how you approach that person with the ego issue? Like I said, I mean, I've worked with people that you could barely even talk to them sometimes because they were so defensive and so full of themselves that they couldn't see things any other way. And I think that's a counterproductive attitude. But then again, you never really see yourself as that. You never see yourself as that. You see the other person as wrong. You don't see yourself as being wrong. So it's difficult to point those fingers back at yourself. So your encounters, your issues with ego, let's hear them. Comments below. Also, with these videos, there will be a link in the description to a discussion about this video over at my forum at ericthecarguy.com, where, hey, if you got automotive questions and you're looking for answers, why don't you head over to ericthecarguy.com. Perhaps type in a couple of keywords to the search function at the top of the page. Listen to the weird things that are happening in the background. It's nothing. Just the ghost hanging out at the shop. And if you don't find an answer by using our little search function there, sign up for our website and our forum. And it's free. All you need is an email address. Just be sure to respond to the confirmation email. If you don't get that, check your spam, check your bulk folder. But you will need to click the activation link in that email in order to complete your registration. Other than that, you can connect with me socially on Google+, Facebook, and Twitter. And I close my videos with, be safe. Have fun, stay dirty, and watch that ego. Could be killing you.